Hey everybody, it's Lo and welcome back to my channel, Lo Without Limits. Today I'm going to share with you my 6 favorite leg exercises to do in the gym. So if you want to see those, then just keep watching. Okay, I love working out my legs. I don't know if it's just because they're stronger, so I always was just more comfortable working them out, or because my years of volleyball, I don't know what it is. I love working out my legs. I love squatting. I just love anything to do with that. And I love feeling sore in my legs. I hate feeling sore in my upper body, but my legs, I could do leg day every day, but don't do that because it's not good for your body, because you need to rest and recover at least 2 days between, the same workouts. Anyway, so I went to the gym again with Clemens, so he got some video of me there, and I did my 6 all-time favorite leg exercises that I want to share with you. So let's get right on into it. The first one, of course, is back squats. So since back squats are a compound movement, I like doing 3 to 4 sets with about 6 to 10 reps per each set. I go a little bit heavier and a little bit lower in the reps because it is a compound movement and it's requiring your full body. And just like with any compound movement, be sure to do it right at the top of your workout since it does require the most energy, and then you can go do everything else after. So for this day, I did do 4 sets of back squats. 2 of them I just did at 135 and I did it for 8 reps each, and then 2 sets I did a little bit more, 145 at 6 reps each. So I did a total of 4 sets of back squats. So I did shoot one of the 135 set and a 145 set. When doing back squats, I don't have the best form in the world, but it's definitely getting better. So while I have gone up a little bit in weight, I do always like to start off a little bit lighter and just to get the form right, because I want to practice my back squats before I get super heavy in them. So I'll just practice, do a few light sets, and I try to at least get to parallel. And a tip for back squats is to always push off with your heels, and that's just with any exercise. You never want to push off with your toes or any other part of your foot. That'll just send you flying forward. So be sure that you just push off with your heels, and when you get to the top, you have a nice little squeeze, and then you can go back down and try to keep your knees a little pointed outward and just make sure that they're stable and they're not wiggling in a little bit. I know that once my knees start kind of wiggling in, especially my left knee because it's just my bad knee, once I feel it's kind of start caving in, at that point I know that should be my last set, or maybe go a little bit lighter for my next set. So be sure your knees are stable. Be sure that you're pushing off, doing everything through your heels, and that's just with any exercise ever. Always do it through your heels, never through your toes or anything that could really throw off your balance, because it's just dangerous. Now moving on from back squats, the next exercise that I like to do, again, it's another one that requires a lot of your body, so be sure to do it right at the top. I like doing back squats and then this movement, and it is hip thrusts. So get on a barbell. If the 45 barbell is already too heavy, you can do the easy bar that's about 25 pounds, whatever it is, or even just get a preloaded barbell, whatever you can get. And I please do this with a barbell pad. Don't buy the barbell pad and use it for your shoulders when you're doing back squats. That's not good. But get it and always have it with you for when you do barbell hip thrusts, or else everything down there will be bruised and it will hurt more than the workout itself. And I prefer to do this on a bench, and I like having the bench against something sturdy. All the benches were taken, or the one rolly bench wasn't available. So I just grabbed some of the little plate things and stacked it up and made my own mini bench. I would prefer just to be 1 plate higher, but this worked as well. And again, with this one, I like to do 4 sets, and since it is a bit heavier of a movement, again, just 6 to 10 reps per each set. So in this, I managed to get 7 reps out of each one. And right after I finish it, right when I finish off the barbell hip thrust, I go right into the banded hip abductors. So I sit on that bench or whatever I have set up. I get my hip circle out, put it right above my knees, and I just do hip abductors for this. Since it is just lighter and with the band, I will do 15 reps of it. So 12 to 15 depending on how sore I'm feeling. So I'll do 6 to 10 of the hip thrusts, and then I go right into supersetting the banded hip abductors. And I just go, and I usually, when I bring my knees out, I put a lot of the weight on the outside of my feet or even on my toes. That way I can bring my knees out and I really feel it on the side of my legs, like right on like the side of your booty, kind of going into the thigh. And you just really feel that. It's a great workout, and this is also a great workout to just do at home if you don't have a gym membership, or if you don't have time to get to a gym. Just having bands and doing something simple like this really works. I also shot a video of at-home leg routine, and in it I do some banded hip bridges, which if you don't want to do the barbell hip thrust right away, you want to like get up to that, you're still new to weightlifting, I definitely recommend just doing some hip bridges, even doing it with just one leg, and really feeling that and having that mind muscle connection before going into a heavier exercise such as this one. So again, I do that for 4 sets, and I'll do it from 6 to 10 and then superset it. And a superset is just when you do one exercise right after another with no break in between. With these hip thrusts, again, just like for the back squats, be sure you're pushing off through your heels, and make sure that it's your lower shoulder blades right on the edge of the bench or whatever you're leaning up against, and have the barbell right along your hips, right where your hip hinges, and push off through your heels. You want your shins to be pretty vertical. Once you get to the top, you want them vertical from your knee to your heels. Push off through your heels, and the whole time leave your neck kind of in a bent forward position. You don't want to be flying your neck forward. Just keep it forward. Don't be moving your head or your neck around too much, because it gets dangerous and it's just not good for your neck. So just keep it tucked forward, push off through your heels, get your shins to be vertical when you're at the top. Give your nice little booty a squeeze when you're at the top, and then you can go back down right before you do the next rep. So the next exercise that I go to right after my barbell hip thrust in the superset with the hip abductors is the single leg press machine. So load it up however much you want. I prefer the seat up all the way. At my gym it goes up like 3 clicks. If you prefer it lower, just however makes you comfortable. I'm not too sure if there's like a specific pros and cons for each thing. So that's just how I feel most comfortable. And at the bottom, there's like a little stop so the machine won't, like all the weight won't come down on you. I put that all the way up to the top just for safety, and I push it out with both legs, and then I just go down to 1. And for this, I always start off with my weaker leg, which is my left leg, and then I match that with my right, because if I start off with my right leg and then my left leg wouldn't be able to do that, and there would be even more of a muscle imbalance. So just like with any exercise where you're doing one side then the other, start off with your weaker side. So for me, this is my left side. So I just push it, and it doesn't look like I'm going super deep, but I feel it going deep. My thigh is pretty much like hitting my stomach. And for this one, I'll just do 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps per set, and I'll do that on each side. So for this, I did 10 reps on each side, and I did that for 3 sets. Also for this, I prefer to keep my body straight up against the chair, so that way I'm just facing it and I'm very square to the machine. But if it helps, then I recommend giving a little twist opposite of the leg that you're pushing. It will give you just like a little bit more strength to push it out if you need that help. But I prefer just being square to it, and it's just a lot better for your muscles versus doing it like on the side completely. And if you don't have a single leg press machine, or you're just doing it at home, then doing a dumbbell single leg deadlift. So for that, I did show it in my at-home leg routine video, and I will have that linked down below in the description box. The next isolation exercise that I go to after the single leg exercise is just a seated calf raise. So for this, I prefer to do it on the seated machine, because then I just feel like it's more calf. I've done the standing calf raise machine for a while, but I feel like the heavier I went, the more weight and pressure it was putting on my shoulders, which to me was very uncomfortable, especially as someone with scoliosis. So doing the seated one is much more comfortable for me, and I feel I can go a little bit heavier and for a little bit longer on it than I could doing the standing calf raise machine. So I'll just load it up, and again, this is just one that you do 3 sets for, 8 to 12 reps per set. So for this exercise, I did 3 sets, and I just did it at 10 reps per set. And I like to push my feet up, and then once I think I get to the top, just give it a nice little push again. So kind of like up and then up, just to get a little bit more, because you know you can get just a little bit more. And then down and release. And then you just go straight right back up and then push up, because you know you can get a little bit more. So again, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps per set. And as you can see, as I do the seated calf raises, that I start holding myself on the hips. And the reason I do that is because I want to be sure that my torso and my upper body is just stable, that I'm not moving it around for any reason, and that all of my strength and every bit of me that like is pushing the weight up is solely through my calves. And for this is probably the only exercise that'll say push through your toes. Everything else, like the first 2, heels for the calf raises, all toes. The last exercise that I did was the seated leg curl machine, and for this I just did 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps again, so I did 10 reps for it, and just load it up and make sure it's nice and locked, make sure the seat's all comfortable for you. Some machines like this are a little bit different than others, so just make sure that you're comfortable in it. Make sure that the top part is going all the way down to your legs, that way you're not like swinging your legs around, and it'll just give you a lot more control to use your quads and everything to curl the machine in. So I'll do that again for 3 sets, and I did 10 reps for each set. There you have it. Those are my all-time favorite leg exercises to do when I'm in the gym. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what your favorite leg exercises are and what you want to see more of on my channel. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe. I upload a new video every Wednesday. So until the next one, thanks for watching.